Before the time of humans, the war god Sol and the peace goddess Luna were in a state of constant turmoil over where their daughter, Polaris, would reside. They would pull against the two halves of her cradle, one half being made of precious gems, the other half being made of precious metals and minerals.
Their constant pulling ripped the cradle in half, causing it to fall to earth and to sink to the bottom of the ocean. Because of the missing cradle, Polaris was constantly crying, putting Sol and Luna into distress.
Sol and Luna each sent a group of descendants from their tribes to search for the prize cradle at the bottom of the ocean, gifting them with fins and gills to be able to survive underwater.
Seven warriors descended and never returned. Each tried their hand at retrieving the precious treasure with no retribution but punishment. They each failed by their own faults. Each was reformed into a creature that would forever remain in the deep as a warning to whomever might journey for the lost cradle.
During Orca's journey, he had to pass through a treasure hall. If he were to take anything, a curse would be put upon him. However, Orca could not resist temptation and left the hall carrying beautiful treasures, transforming him into a blundering beast.
While Barracuda was attempting to retrieve the cradle, he came across the school of fish. Because he couldn't control his hunger, he devoured every single one of them. Because of his hunger, he was transformed into a long, toothy fish of ravenous nature.
To find the cradle, Shark was confronted by an angry merman. In his rage, Shark murdered the merman and everything he loved. Because of the shark's anger, he was transformed into a monstrous destroyer.
During Eel's journey, he spied someone with a plethora of treasures. Eel strangled the man in order to steal his jewels. For his punishment, he was transformed into a slithering monster of coils.
Before he could find the cradle, Swordfish swam past the reflective surface. He couldn't resist gazing upon his reflection. Because he wasted so much time, his beautiful appearances were ever changed into more unappealing features.
During Seal's long journey, he became too tired to finish. He slept for many suns and many moons. When he awoke, he was transformed into a lazy and unmotivated creature.
On the journey to the bottom of the ocean, Angler spotted a light in the distance. Instead of continuing on his journey, Angler followed the light. For his punishment, he will forever be chasing a light but never be able to reach it.
Much time passed, and in that time a son of Sol and a daughter of Luna fell in love, the first to do so. A great taboo between their two tribes. The unthinkable relationship forever caused them to keep their true lives under wraps.
Their love resulted in a child, a new type of child, who had both the attributes of the moon and the sun's people. This child, however, was proof of their forbidden love, so the parents sadly let their baby girl drifting away wrapped in protective kelp. Because of the equal attributes of the sun and the moon, the child reflected the characteristics of Polaris.
A pair of leaping dolphins spotted an obscure floating bundle and discovered it was a merchild. The dolphins took the child under their fins. They raised it with every ounce of love they had, as they would have if they could have had their own child. As the forbidden child grew, she always felt this underlying sense of alienation from not only her peers but also fathers. As she matured into an adult, she became more and more independent, yearning to explore the ocean. Her father dolphins realized that she would soon leave. In order to protect her from the dangers of the sea, they gave her a chainmail cloak and a flute. The cloak of armor would protect her from the depths of the sea that was guarded by the jellyfish, while the flute would distract any predators that tried to harm her.
Going on her journey, the child came upon a great divider of light and dark sides of the ocean, a barrier of jellyfish, guardians of the crossroads. Shrouding herself with the chainmail cloak, she passed through the barricade, deeper into the abyss.
Throughout her journey, many creatures approached the child in need of help. Because she was a selfless soul, she helped as many as she could. With every deed she assisted someone with, she had to turn someone else's plea down. Although she couldn't, she tried to please everyone. Over time, she became weaker and weaker. Fearing her waning strength, she prepared to leave.
Finally, she left behind the hopeless souls and went further down, until she came to a giant cavern where the cradle pieces lay in front of her.
Then a behemoth monster of the seas emerged from the lair. Noticing that the child's eyes continued to wander towards the cradle, the monster made the child an offer. He would give a riddle, and the loser would die, but the winner would live and gain the treasure. He asked,
Riddle, what I am made of. More of me is hidden than is seen. I am the bane of the manor, a cave within the sea. Speak my name.
and the child answered,
Ice.
Unable to refuse the pact, the monster died, relinquishing the cradle pieces. A cloud of blood torn to...
As the child leaned down to pick up the treasure, droplets of blood caught upon her tongue, leaving their stain forever in her mind.
At last, the child made her return. She swam rapidly up to the surface.
Breaking the surface of the waves, she rose up to the celestial plane.
But her numerous endeavors had left the child tired and haggard. Her grip weakened, and the cradle pieces continued to ascend without her.
As she fell, her battered body began to fray. Her downward tumult made her deteriorate, and those precious cradle pieces, so desired, fell too. Her bones hit the surface and became the land. The cradle pieces burrowed deep in the ground, settling as minerals and ores. Her hair hit the surface and became plants. Her fingers and toes hit the surface and became the creatures of the land. The rest of her body hit the surface and became man and woman, but the blood of the monster that she had tasted spilled out of her abdomen and left a permanent stain upon and within the earth.
Much time passed, and in that time a son of Sol and a daughter of Luna fell in love, the first to do so. A great pet...
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
On the way to find the cradle,
During Eel's journey, he spied someone with a plethora of treasures. Eel strangled the man in order to steal his jewels. For his punishment, he carried...
No!